You know that feeling when you see a new app or tool and you think to yourself, ooh, this is going to solve all of my problems. This will allow me to finally organize my life. You're not alone. We all do that. But here's the thing about tool exploration. It has a purpose, but it also has a cost. Every time you switch systems, you lose the benefit of habit. You're back to thinking about the tool instead of thinking with the tool. This question of what notebook and pens to use, what tablet or app to use, comes up frequently in the world of visual thinking. For folks who've decided they want to get better at making marks with their hands, sketching out simple diagrams and drawings as a learning, problem-solving, or communication tool. Even the question of, oh, do I go analog or do I go digital, can stop people in their tracks. And as disheartening as it might sound, there's no silver bullet. It's very unlikely that you will find one single tool that meets all of your needs, has every single feature that you want and none that you don't. So instead of looking for that perfect tool, I encourage you to think of a couple different categories that you can experiment with without getting trapped in that place where you feel the need to find the one tool that you'll use for the rest of your life. The Capture Habit is a lesson within the Verbal to Visual curriculum where I teach you the mindset and the methods that will help you become a visual thinker. And within it, I identify the running journal, which is kind of your daily driver. What's your go-to visual thinking materials on hand that you can use in your day-to-day work? And then what materials can you use for a specific project that you're working on, where you can tailor the materials to the specific goals of that project. Because where the running journal is kind of an ongoing thing, a visual thinking project has an endpoint. And I think that gives it the appropriate bounds to try out a new material combination without feeling like you have to commit to it for the rest of your life. And what we're getting at here is something that I talked about in a video from a while back that I titled When Your Work Becomes Stagnant. In it, I explored the difference between static quality and dynamic quality, a topic that plays a role in the book that I was reading at the time, Lila by Robert Pirsig, which was the follow-up to Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And an overall message there is that both of these are needed. You need some things in your life that have a static quality. These are things like morning routines and the structure of your organization at work, areas where you can expect things not to change. But you also need dynamic quality in your life, where you are exposed to new and unexpected experiences. If your life is full only of static quality, you'll get bored. If your life is full only of dynamic quality, you'll become exhausted. And I think this balance between static quality and dynamic quality is a pretty good way to think about the tools you use. Identify a few tool combinations that you know work well for you, and those can be your go-tos. And then look for opportunities, be it a self-contained visual thinking project or a week where you can switch up your routine, and use that to add some dynamic quality to your life, to bring some fresh energy, and maybe to uncover a tool that will continue to serve a purpose, that might play a role in future workflows that you wouldn't have discovered if you didn't give yourself the opportunity to experiment. So don't fall into that trap of thinking that there's one tool combination that will fit all your needs, and also beware of shiny object syndrome every time you hear about a new app or you see someone showing off their new journal, and instead find what works well enough. And from that base, look for opportunities here and there to experiment with different tools. Make sure you have that balance of static quality and dynamic quality. And for more on getting down to the use of those tools, check out the resources at verbaltovisual.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.